Welcome to Advocacy in Motion Red River Edition. We're pleased to be here in downtown Denison at the Podcast on Main Street Split Window Studios to give a vision and a voice to nonprofit organizations and individuals making a difference in the Sherman-Denison communities. And before I introduce my first guest today, I want to thank our presenting sponsor, Niagara Conservation. Niagara is a leading manufacturer and distributor of water-saving, cost-saving plumbing products. And we are especially proud of their long history of supporting Advocacy in Motion and over 50 nonprofit organizations throughout the past couple of years, including the 12 nonprofits in the Denison-Sherman area that they'll be supporting over the summer. So I want to thank Niagara, and I want to welcome my guest, Mark Ellison, who's CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Sherman. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you, Tommy, for inviting me down here to talk about the Boys and Girls Club of Sherman. And it's been a great ride since I've been there. I've been there about 10 months right now at the Boys and Girls Club as the CEO, and I'm excited about to tell our story.
Well, I love your mission statement. I saw it on your website, and I know a little bit about Boys and Girls Clubs. And it says it's a place where one's background does not limit their potential, and that regardless of where you come from or challenges you face, we believe that every youth deserves equal access to opportunities and experiences. Does that pretty well sum it up? Is that the big picture?
Yes, sir. That's the big picture. One thing about the Boys and Girls Club of Sherman, what I like to do, I like to bring in, I like to give every kid a chance. You know, some kids are different. Some kids need a little bit of loving. Some kids you need to be more structured with. And we're going to give every kid a chance, opportunity to be at the Boys and Girls Club and do the right thing.
Oh, that's terrific. Tell us about your background with Boys and Girls Club, how you get involved.
Well, back in about 1998, I was just in a program. I was volunteer with the Boys and Girls Club, coaching basketball and football with the Boys and Girls Club. And one day our old CEO, Mike DeLone, came and said, hey, man, I like what you do here. I like what you're doing with the kids. I would like for you to be our program director. So being in the corporate world, working at a finery, I had to think about it, pray about it, and the opportunity came up, and I became the program director for the Boys and Girls Club back in 1999. I stayed there for 9 years to 2008. And in 2008, I went into the coaching world and was a girls basketball coach at Texoma Christian for 19 years.
Very good. All right. Now, the times change in the world. You've been back there a long time. What changes do you see in the Boys and Girls Club and their mission and your structure from then to now and then in the future?
Well, you know, the biggest deal that I see back in the early 2000s, that old saying, it take a village to raise the kids. Now in the world, it takes more than a village. It takes 2 or 3 villages to raise kids, because our kids now that comes to the Boys and Girls Club, you don't know if they're raised by their grandparents, their uncles, their aunties, or whatever. They need more structure. You got to love on them a little bit more, because our world is crazy right now out there. So we just want to be filling in the gaps that the parents and the grandparents need help with.
How is the Boys and Girls Club of Sherman affiliated with or work with other Boys and Girls Clubs around the country?
Well, what we do, we have the national headquarters, which is out of Atlanta, Georgia. We always go every year. We have a Southwest Conference, and all the Boys and Girls Club from everywhere come together. We go down to the Boys and Girls Club national headquarters with all CEOs. We come together. We discuss different things, what we can do to make it better. We have another organization involved with the Boys and Girls, what we call Texas Alliance. That's where all CEOs and different people come in and try to structure what we need to do in the Boys and Girls Club.
What does it take to become employee of Boys and Girls Clubs or a volunteer? What do you look for there?
Well, what I look for is strong young men and young ladies that can come in and help us out. What we try to do is bring them in. You have to be 18 at the Sherman Boys and Girls Club. Back before I got there, it was 16, but it's hard for me to bring a 16-year-old in there to work. And we have 15 and 16-year-old kids that come to the Boys and Girls Club. So what I try to do right now is you have to be 18. You have to pass our background check. Once you pass the background check, you go through 3 days of training and on letting you know do's and don'ts of the Boys and Girls Club. And one thing we really push right now, when you have young kids working for you, they want to be friends with the kids. You have to draw that line and say, hey, I'm over you right now.
I understand that. We'll come back to this many times, but tell people how they can get in touch with you, how they can volunteer, and website, that sort of thing.
Yes, you can go to our website as Sherman Boys and Girls Club. .org. And when you go to our website, if you want to contact us, you will see all of our pictures on the website. You can push whatever you want to talk about. If you need to talk to the CEO, Mark Ellison, you can email me, or you can also call me at 903-892-9019, extension 101. I will answer any questions that you have.
I know that talking about putting together this program with you guys, you've been very receptive. Everybody's answered the phone, which is really great that you're really involved with the community and receptive to their calls and stuff.
One thing when I took over back in July 31st of last year, one thing I want to make sure the Boys and Girls Club of Sherman is we're about the community. I want the community to know that the Boys and Girls Club of Sherman is still there. We're still there to answer any questions. And one thing that I push my staff to do is always return phone calls.
They do, and trust me that they do. You've got so many programs that you work on. I know there's a couple of them. Tell us a bit about the programs and how you get involved with the kids and things that you do.
Well, right now, what we got going on right now is our summer program. The kids come in at 7:30 and they leave about 5:15. Inside the club, we have all different kind of activities they can do, from smart moves with girls. We have a new program that we're getting ready to start off in the next couple of weeks. Is about life to manhood, that we can train young men and teach them about manhood. We take field trips on Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Tuesdays, we go skating. Thursdays, we go to the movies. And it's just different kind of activities we do. The kids rotate every hour, from the game room, the computer lab, the learning center, the art room. We have 2 basketball gyms in there. And the special thing that we have right now, we just built a brand new playground at our Boys and Girls Club for the first time ever.
Where is the Boys and Girls Club in Sherman?
It's on 1500 North Luckett Street in Sherman. If anybody know, when you go over the bridge going to Austin College, as soon as you get over on top of the bridge, you make a right and you'll see the Boys and Girls Club.
And you've been there quite a while. What are some of your favorite success stories? What are some of the things you can tell us?
Well, being the CEO now, the best thing I can see is when kids walk up to you and give you a hug and say, thank you for being here for us. But we have a lot of kids that have came through the Sherman Boys and Girls Club that went on and played professional sports. You have a Kyle Crick, who's now pitching for the Pittsburgh Padres, that came to our club. You look back in the day that when Boys and Girls Club, when I was there the first time, you had Hunter Smith, who was a kicker for the Indianapolis Colts. You have Charlie Johnson, who was a lineman for the Indianapolis Colts. And you look at Chris Giddings now, who is played for the Houston Astros as a first baseman. So we had a lot of stories that come out the Boys and Girls Club, but I think what's the biggest deal, we forget about those stories because it was in the past. So what we try to do is I'm trying to bring all that back to the club and have these young men and young ladies who's been through the Boys and Girls Club come and talk to our young kids.
Now, I forgot to ask earlier, what is the age group here? What's the age limit?
We go from 5 years old by Boys and Girls Club standards to 18. But at the Sherman Boys and Girls Club, we don't get a lot of 18-year-old kids there, so our range is from about 5 to about 15.
15?
Yes.
And how many kids are in the program?
Well, this summer is probably one of the biggest summers that we had. Right now, we have registered right now at 267 kids for the summer. We're doing on a daily basis 189 kids a day.
And what size is your staff? That's a lot of kids.
Well, right now we're running anywhere from 25 to 28 staff.
And these are volunteers mostly, or staff and volunteers?
Well, we got staff and volunteers. We got 28 staff members without the volunteers.
Okay, very good. What kind of support do you need from the community? I know we always talk about fundraising. We talk about support. What do you need from the community?
Well, I just need the community. One thing I want the community to know, just to believe in us. To believe in us, to bring your kids out and let us show you how we can care for them. And, when you talk about fundraisers is very strange because my job is to go out and do the fundraisers. And we have different groups and different people in my organization that write grants. But my job is to go out and I go to businesses and ask them for help. And I have a great board. I have about 25 people on my board, and they do a great job of helping me fundraise.
Oh, that is terrific. What have I missed? There's something that we talked about some things. We went over some notes, but what have I missed that you'd like for people to know about?
I just like the people from our community to know that back in the past, the Boys and Girls Club in Sherman, I'm speaking for the Boys and Girls Club in Sherman here, has been a miss. People thought we was closed, but since I've been there, the community has been coming back to the Boys and Girls Club. People are believing in the Boys and Girls Club, and all I want to say to the community is that we're here. We're here to help you to raise your kids, and please have your youngsters come out to the Boys and Girls Club.
That is terrific. All right, one more time, tell us how people get involved. How can they get in touch with you? Website?
Yes, just go to our website, ShermanBoysandGirlsClub.org. And you can see, you can reach me again at 903-892-9019, extension 101. Or if you don't need to talk to me, you just want to ask any questions about our programs, call the same number, 903-892-9019, extension 102, and ask for Alexis. That's my front office managers, and they can answer any questions you need.
Okay. Before we close, I'd like to just say one more mention for our presenting sponsor, Niagara, who makes all of this possible. We mentioned their contribution to supporting nonprofit organizations and their money-saving plumbing products, but Niagara is also an innovative in bathroom hygiene and experiences. So if you're ready to upgrade your bathroom experience and revolutionize hygiene, say hello to a more refreshing experience with Niagara's Hydro Tech Bidet Seat. You can get yours today on Amazon because Niagara will save you a seat. Mark, thank you so much for joining us and being in all that you guys do in the community and in the future with Boys and Girls Club.
Well, no, thank you, too. Thank you, and thank you to the sponsors that is helping you put this on. This is great for our community to be able to come and tell our story of what's going on in our community and at the Boys and Girls Club of Sherman. I appreciate you for inviting me, and let me know what I can do in the future for y'all.
Okay, thank you, and thank you to Chris Momaine and the people here at Split Window for putting this on and helping us get the message out. Thank you again.
Thank you.